Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. We're back. I've got a Forest River Ranch that came in this morning that needs the recall done for the basement air. And this gentleman's in from New Mexico, so he traveled a ways to come see us this morning. But I've got an idea that we're going to try out. I actually have talked to Forest River about it, and they are okay with it. So we're going to show you something new we may be trying out on this thing. But we're going to get up there. Mr. Lewis is ready for it, so we're going to go up here and get rolling on that, and we'll show you what's going on. All right, so we got the Big River Ranch up here. Now, there has been a recall on these from the factory, and this is going to be why. See all that gap right there? We've talked about this in previous videos. All that right there is pulling air from outside and not pulling air from up in that filter assembly that's back in here. So all this has got failure points that Mr. Lewis is going to go in here and tape all this up. And we're going to go through the recall list and make sure that we're doing it the way Forest River wants it done. But you can see all this is not really correct. And some of the tape, you see all that, that's a gap right there. All that's failed. So we're going to pull all this apart and go in here and tape all this up a little better. See, all that's failed. So just not getting that good return that we normally would like. So we're going to go into this and get it cleaned up and resealed. Take another look at this. Now we've got the unit out, and it's a good thing we did take it out because it's got some cleaning that's got to be done there. And actually, Mr. Lewis pulled the whole frame out of here because this piece we've got to remove here, they actually had screws in it. We couldn't even get to it. You can see the frame sitting over there. So right now, he's just doing a lot of tape work. We're going to get all that done before we put this unit back in, get to the stuff we can handle. And then he's going to clean the unit out, get it all vacuumed out and cleaned it. And while we got it out, we're going to go ahead and pull the lid on that. We're going to update that bearing to the sealed bearing that we like. We've come this far. There's that piece that was all screwed in there. We've got it out now. So Mr. Lewis is just working on getting all this kind of taped up to the point where he can reach everything right now. And then we put some foam in there, letting that set up. We'll shave a lot of that out of there and then tape around that also. Well, we've got it all taped back up and it's back the way it needs to be. So we're going to get this thing fired up. Mr. Lewis has got everything pretty well taped up. So we're going to see what our discharge temps are at now and see what we got. All right, so Mr. Lewis has got everything installed. All the ductwork return is good. Now, the bad part is we only got about 14 degrees differential in the furthest vent. Now, amp draws are off by about 3/4 of an amp between compressor 1 and compressor 2. The one thing that I'm not really liking is I've got a fair amount of heat in what we call, compressor 1. Compressor 2 up here, there's no heat. So there's something going on with the charge in this unit. So I had a long conversation with Eric. We did pull the caps and check the UF rating on the capacitor. It was within 5% of its 35 UF. So it's all good. So at this point, they feel like that's an undercharge in that system. It is still within the 2-year warranty for the Eric cell. So they're actually going to send us one out to R&R under warranty. Just the way it goes. Now, this gentleman's in from New Mexico. He drove all the way out here to see me. So, I'd rather find these problems now than obviously, him getting back there and call me and go, hey, Steve, it ain't really working. So, it was a good catch, but this is what you got to do. You got to get all this duct work. You got to get it all installed right, and then go through and check that. And of course, we didn't have our 20 degrees differential up in the unit. So So fortunately, we're gonna get that taken care of. So I'll show you tomorrow as we do more. Okay, so we're back here on this river ranch. Now, we had a problem with this compressor. We went ahead and got it warrantied out. It was still within the 2-year period with Airxcel. There's the actual new unit right there. So you guys have seen where we've talked about this multiple times where all this has got to be taped out. Well, I got with my friend George down at G&L Services, and we have actually built us a return right here that is going to fit in to this unit right here. That way the air from the unit is pulled back through here, and it don't matter if any of this leaks air or not. That return is going to be sealed up just like they do on the Winnebagos. So let's go ahead and get this in here and we'll check this out. So the air unit will slide in, that'll seal up against it. Mr. Lewis is taping up around the turn. Now we put a few screws in there with some insulation and all that, but he's gonna make for certain that that don't leak air. Mr. Lewis has got this unit running now. Look how much condensation we have coming off there. Now that we have the new return ductwork in there, that sucker is really drawing. So Mr. Lewis has got that all taped up. Let's go inside. I want to show you what I've got going on. See, look how nice this is, because none of this matters now. All this is in that ductwork. So let's go inside. Let me show you what we got going on in here on the ductwork on this big river ranch. So right now we're showing 80 on the controller. Let's see what we got down here in the vent. 52.3 degrees. And if we come over here to where the return's at, the filter and all's in here, you can really feel the air being drawn through there now because that ductwork's doing all the work. So Mr. George did it again. We got that ductwork in there. Now, it doesn't matter if that stuff doesn't get taped right or there's something bleeding. That ductwork is drawing all that return air from up here into that air unit and discharging out there. There's no way it's going to leak out of there. And George did do the measurements and the math, and we've got more than enough air return going through there. So that unit will be able to handle that ductwork to get the air flowing through here. Case in point, look at the thermostat, 80 and what we had coming out the vent. So that got that fixed up. So there you go. Another great fix for the river ranches. All right, so you saw what we did with the ductwork on the river ranch. Now, again, shout out to Mr. George at G&L Services. Came up with another great solution for us. You know, and George did do all the math. Everything worked good. We had enough return. I did talk several times with Airxcel about that. We did have enough airflow, so the coils are not freezing up. I did send all that off to Forest River and have their engineer look at it, and they were okay with everything. One little note on that return where you saw it sweating real good, we did go back and retape all that, put some insulation on that to keep that from doing that. Mr. Lewis got the unit all sealed up and closed up before I got back there to do a quick video on that. But I am going to keep that ductwork in stock. Mr. George did make me an extra, so I've got one here. So the next one that comes in, or if you guys in the River Ranch community need one of those, I do have that ductwork in stock and it's ready for installation. Just got to give me a call. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. And remember that the ductwork and this video is Cousin Gary approved. Y'all take care.